Yeah, we have a couple things to talk about, okay? Well, I mean, kind of. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do for the rundown today, and I want to talk about the fights yesterday. Give me 1 second. I'm going to run. Nate, and less experience and less reach / height / weight, saw it from a mile away. I mean, you saw that a mile away. So all you had to do is do 10 minutes research. You go watch Jake Paul's training videos, and then you go watch what's his name? Nate's training videos, and you can just see it, you know what I mean? He wasn't quite there on understanding how to fight. I mean, Nate's strategy was dive at him. Dive, try to throw a punch, and then they would just hug, you know what I mean? First, for a little bit. That was the first round was like dive, each guy would try throwing a punch or two, and then it would be a hug, and then back out, right? And it was just like, he's going to walk in, and it's just like, you can tell that Jake knows how to throw a punch. He knows how to put all his power behind his punches. He knows how to properly throw a punch, right? And it didn't look like Nate knew how to. So it didn't look like Nate understood how to properly stay balanced above his feet. You know what I'm saying? He was diving in front of his legs, just leaving himself out there, and I knew he was going to get slept, bro. And you want to know what's worse about it? It's not that it's worse, but it's like, you got these guys, you're a referee in this, okay? He gets knocked down the first time. One, he didn't make that count, okay? The ref was being nice. He let him stay in that fight on the first knockdown, okay? Second knockdown, he was being nice again. He let him up for that count. He was not obeying orders. He could have stopped the fight right there, but he didn't want to ruin the show. You know, it's kind of like these guys aren't really professional boxers. He wants to let him go at it. Oh, bro, worst decision. That ref allowed Nate to get slept on TV. You know what I mean? That's a rough go. He should have stopped the fight right there, realistically. Nate was pacing back and forth. He clearly didn't want to fight. He wasn't obeying orders. He could have stopped the fight right there. He allowed him to go out there for one more chance, even though the ref knew that he did not want to himself, and allowed him to go out there and get slept. That's how I saw it. I looked at my friend twice during the fight and said, that ref just let him get up on that count, and without any problems continued this fight. And then I looked at him the second time and I said, he did it again, and he got slept immediately after. It was crazy. That's a tough spot for a ref, because in a real fight, the ref would have stopped it right there to stop, that future outcome. You don't want anybody to get knocked out like that in that sort of way, where he's so out of it that he's blacked out, right? He can't even stop himself from face planting on the floor. You never want to get knocked out like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not a good way to go. It's embarrassing looking. It's dangerous. Can we talk about how Snoop Dogg had the only good performance all night, by the way? The only good, performance all night was Snoop Dogg. He saved the show. My problem with Tyson was that he didn't go for headshots. He stayed body shots all night, which is, fine. I didn't take that fight super seriously. I was just kind of enjoying two dudes that, that are legends, share the ring with one another. You know what I'm saying? I liked Tyson's attitude after. He was like, we got a draw. You okay with that? Mike's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Old Mike wouldn't be okay with that. New Mike sure is. The announcer said, why? Why are you okay with that? You have to ask. Tyson wasn't going out there to win. He was going out there to fucking just test himself. He just wanted to hit some shit, and I'm sure he didn't get it out of his system either. I bet you he still wants to fight. He stared at him. The interviewer asked Roy Jones if he'd fight again. Tyson stared at him. It's one of those fights that it's just a respectable thing to see two guys. I didn't want to see either one of them get hurt. I didn't want to see either one of them really dominate. I wanted to just see two guys go out there really just. I know that's not what they want. They want to fuck each other up, but it's hard for me to take a winner in that fight. I like both those guys, you know what I'm saying? Roy said his jaw and his ribs are sore or some shit. He said Mike Tyson hits hard as fuck. He says getting old sucks. But yeah, it was a fun night of fights. That ref needed to pull them off the clinch more. That ref was definitely, he should be a MMA ref. You know what I mean? He was okay with them clinching. And, you know, clinches are okay. But once it becomes, like, too, it's like you let a clinch go on for a little bit when it's the first or second one, right? But when it starts to become a regular thing, that's when the ref needs to start going in there and be like, all right, get the fuck away from each other, start throwing punches. And if they keep doing it, then he has to then he should sit there for a second and explain to each one of them. You know, they do that sometimes, right? Like, motherfuckers, stop hugging, or like, stop clinching so much, start throwing punches, boys, start throwing punches, you know? They'll do that sometimes. But, yeah, he was just kind of letting him go for a little too long, I think too consecutively. It seemed like Tyson was in better shape than Roy Jones. It seemed like Roy Jones was, he was breathing harder, quicker. You know what I'm saying? And Mike, yeah, as much as Mike, I feel like Mike's trainer was way more into it than Mike was. His trainer was like wanting him to go out there and take his fucking head off. Telling those fools, we can go 15 rounds. You know what I mean? It's just like, okay, relax, man. It's okay. You know? I think Mike was holding back a little bit, if I'm being real. I swear he didn't go for a single head hit. I swear it was 100% body shots. Maybe I'm not fully right on that, but it's close. I swear all Roy Jones did was pop shot and run, okay? And all Mike did was try to catch and body shot. I mean, it's different time for both of them. Different time. And that's why I think Mike was holding back a little bit. I think he was enjoying himself. It was a sparring match a little bit, you know? Jake Paul did that guy wrong. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do if you're Jake Paul, man? You know? I mean, you can tell from... Oh, dude, I guess nobody watched Jake Paul's training videos, man. He is there to sleep you. That's what he was doing in training. That's what he's doing while he's sparring, motherfuckers. He loves every second of it, you know? I'm sure he wants to do it. That's exactly how he wanted that fight to go. He doesn't want him getting knocked out just a little bit. He wanted to sleep him hard as fuck. And that's what happened. Man, you don't get knockouts like that all the time either. It was nice. It was a nice watch. It was a little sucky because, like I said, because the ref was being nice. The ref was giving him too much leeway. And that ref knows he shouldn't have let him go out that last thing. Just by looking at him, he knows. He's got to feel a little guilty, man. He's got to feel a little guilty. Because, you know, we live in a day and age where something like that can hurt your career. His actual career. Nate Robinson's career is affected by that fight, in my opinion. In my opinion. That's his reputation, you know? Go out on your hands and knees. You know, fuck. Good. Yo, more power to you. You know, you got the best of me. You were the better man. All fine. If you would have gone out right before that. But then you push it one extra 5 seconds, and it's a little different. Now the internet's memeing all over you. I mean, I've seen it all. Have you seen him in a Minecraft bed? I've seen him head on fucking Kill Reported. What was that? The Among Us meme that he's on. And he's got Simba trying to find out if he's okay. You know what I'm saying? He's all sorts of shit going on. He's got the dudes. He's got those dudes that normally got the casket on their shoulder. He's just laying up on their shoulder. He's just on there. They don't got a casket for him. Can't wait to see KSI drop Jake Paul. Dude, you know what's fun? I don't think KSI will drop Jake Paul. I'm sorry. I think, you know, I just tweeted about this. I would like to see Jake Paul fight KSI, and Jake Paul will win that fight. Dude. Jake Paul is a better boxer than Logan Paul. He is more trained in boxing than Logan Paul. And Logan Paul still, in my opinion, if he was more trained in boxing, understood the rules a little bit more, Logan Paul wins the fight against KSI, for starters, okay? And then, 2, KSI can't throw a conservative punch to save his life. Every punch he threw was for the fences. It was wild. There was no sort of accuracy on it, man. And I think Jake Paul will rip him apart. I'll be honest. Especially if, I think he'll pick him apart. He's way more fundamentally sound than KSI is. And that's like, I'm not biased. I don't, it doesn't matter to me. But Jake Paul is 100% more boxing capable than KSI is. He's throwing way more fundamentally sound punches. He knows how to throw proper punches, and he knows how to properly balance himself above his feet and use his he's throwing proper punches. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to fundamentally box. Even Ryan Garcia says like he's training against professionals, and he may not always win, and he may get his ass kicked, but he's actively trains against professionals. Jake Paul does. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course he's gonna beat Nate Robinson, and he's definitely gonna beat KSI, bro. I'm sorry. No, KSI is not way faster. He cannot dodge those punches. Maybe he can dodge them once in a while or something like that, but he's not like way faster. What do you mean? He's a heavier guy. You know what I'm saying? He's not like he's not light on your feet. He's not dodging all out of it. He's throwing haymakers and he's standing in front of you. Now that may change. Maybe he gets better training. Maybe he just, catches his mistakes and fixes them. But if you go watch that Logan Paul fight with him, I mean, show me where he's fundamentally sound, He looks less fundamentally sound than Wilder does, okay? And that's saying something, True, it's not fair because we haven't seen anything from him since last fight. But that's a big cleanup, man. He's had 2 fights against Logan Paul. Why would he not get fundamentally more sound? It's very clear that he's not fundamentally sound in boxing, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he just doesn't understand like how it works, balance and how to properly throw the punches and stuff like that. But it doesn't look like it to me when I watch him fight, unless he's changed that. But you would think over the first fight, at least from the first fight to the second fight, that he would have gained that if he was capable of doing so. You know what I'm saying? Who would win, you or Shroud? Listen, man. I've convinced myself in my own head, after punching my bag out there for the last 2 months, that I can take any YouTuber or Twitch streamer and in my weight class. No problem. I was telling my friend last night, Kevin, he's into wrestling, I was like, we're the same weight. I was like, we can go to the gym, we can box, we can do some sparring, get a little training in, we could spar after, He thinks he'll knock me out. And I was watching him punch the bag last night, and it's like, it's a lot of like, throwing punches without the hip. Like, I don't know how you can throw a punch without turning your hip, your right hand. Lots of real stagnant, just upper body movement type of punches. And I'm sitting there thinking like, I would eat you alive. You know what I mean?